some of it's back. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Nirvana had us smelling like Teen Spirit. We went down with the Wall and the Titanic. We went up with Wall Street and Star Wars. The World Wide Web was being woven, and maybe you even got your first cell phone. And amidst all of that, in the 90s, there was some good decorating going on, and some of the real good stuff is back. And that's what we're talking about today. 90s trends that are serving now.
Well, and I think I've gotten a head start on this because I've certainly been doing some of this in my new house, and it is so fun. It's such a change from what we've been going through for the last 10, 15 years of the neutrals, the minimalism, the quiet decorating, which I enjoyed, but now it's time. Color, pattern, repeat. That's what I'm here for.
And before we get going, I should mention I might sound like I've been smoking some cigs with Kurt and the band from Nirvana.
You do sound a little rough, Kelly.
Did not have a wild night. I wish I could say I did. I just might have a little something coming on. So good thing we're not in the same room, Anita Jean. But yeah, I'm still here for it. We can talk about the 90s. As you mentioned, there's some really fun things going on.
Oh, and I'm thinking of one of my favorite shows, Gilmore Girls. Very 90s decorating going on there. And, think Martha Stewart. She was hot then, too.
So hot.
Pre-jail Martha.
Oh, Martha. Martha, they did you dirty. If a man pulled that, yeah, he'd be applauded. A Martha was put in prison. Not great. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. You want to kick us off? What's one of the great things from the 90s that's back in decor?
Gingham, it's back. And this was so popular in the 90s, and now it's hot again. So think curtains, chairs, sofas. You can put gingham on anything. And some people think of it as just being a country look, but it works in other settings. And the beautiful thing about gingham is, if you want pattern, this is a great, very simple pattern that you can put with other more complex patterns. So it's going to fit in very well. It's not going to feel like too much. So I think it's a great way to add some color and pattern to your whole decorating look for a room.
I absolutely love gingham. I have to say I always have. I'm sure I didn't have it for all this time, but I do have it currently. I got some great deal from Ballard maybe a year ago or so, and it's a dark taupey and black gingham. These pillows were on super duper clearance, and I bought like 4 or 5 of them. I got a couple of lumbars, and I got some 20 by 20s, and they mix in so beautifully with my favorite pattern, the Pine Hollyhock from Schumacher. They look so great with that, and they kind of knock off the formality of the chintz. I love mixing in gingham. A brand or a person or a website you should visit if you're loving gingham is Heather Taylor. She pretty much does just gingham. And
really?
so she realized this was coming back hard a while ago and started her company. She has gingham everything, pillows, tablecloths, runners, napkins. She even has some cottages that she rents out, also filled with some gingham. So yeah, check her out. But you can find gingham on Amazon as well. It's usually a pretty inexpensive fabric. It's cotton. I guess it could be linen, but it's usually just a cotton material. Right. So it's pretty reasonable. And I love what Anita said about it. So it's just such an easy pattern to mix in. It would be your smaller pattern or possibly your medium if you had some micro pattern going on another fabric. But it's a great starter pattern if you want to get into mixing. And we've got bunches of episodes about that.
What's your next one?
The hutch. Why did anyone think the hutch needed to go away? I don't know. I love a hutch, but it was really, really a hot item in the 90s. It's a piece that is becoming very popular again for very good reason, right? It's so useful and versatile. A hutch being different than a china cabinet or some sort of curio cabinet, it's usually in 2 pieces. So you can even take the top part off, which I have done. I took the top part off a hutch one time and I used the base as a vanity in a bathroom and cut out for the sink. I don't know what happened to the hutch, but I feel like I made some other use of it at some point. Okay. But it's so useful, so versatile, and can be such a bargain. You see them in consignment stores and thrift stores. Yeah, kind of like you see the china cabinets because they were out, but they're back. You can use it in almost any room. Kitchen, so useful. Dining room, office, playroom. You can put books in it. You can even do a cool bar setup because you're going to have that extra counter area or top because normally the top part of the hutch is recessed. So you do have some space where you can put something down. So it'd be a great place to put a tray. You could put some bottles of wine or liquor, whatever you fancy. And then you could put your pretties up top. Lots of times there might be glass or even open. And if you wanted to close them in, you could do what we've suggested, dropping in either some fabric or you could drop in some of that meshing material if you wanted to obscure so you could put more storagey things in there. But it's a great item and it should be part of your decorating.
Well, I love using these oversized hutches in situations where it's a very small kitchen because you can get an amazing amount of storage in them. And sometimes, that's right, you have the top part, sometimes you don't. I've used them with other wall-mounted shelves to go above the hutch that weren't really meant to go with it, and that's beautiful too, and you have the display up there. But it really is a wonderful extender for your kitchen if you've run out of storage, if you perhaps collect too many plates. So I think it's nice for that. So, and I do love the look. It's very cozy and very 90s, very comforting to have one of those. So I love those. Now, let's go on to something I think that's very important in this look, and that is the 3-scale pattern rule, where you've got 3 different patterns, but the way you make it work where it's beautiful is they're not all the same size. So you might start with one that's your hero pattern, that's big, bold, has lots of color in it, and then the other 2 patterns you put with it are going to be smaller and simpler. Maybe they're just a 2-color pattern, but you pull out some color from the hero print and then find some patterns that have that in it that are smaller scale. And I did this when I was doing Elise's room. I chose a very bold pattern, printed curtains, and those are what are your main focus in the room. And then I chose actually 4 other prints, but they're much simpler prints: patterned lampshades, a striped bed skirt, a simpler pattern as the duvet cover. There's some other pillows in there that are different patterns. So there's several different patterns, but there's only one big bold pattern. And most of the other patterns are either very small scale or 2-color. And it works so beautifully together. And I have a link to the bed skirt I used in this room because it's really pretty and I got it for a great price.
So have you tried Dupe yet? If you haven't, come on, dupe.com. It is going to be your new shopping best friend. And it's not just for furniture. I know I've shared with you about my coffee table dupe, but you can save money with Dupe on fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. I just used Dupe to find an absolute perfect twin of this t-shirt that I wanted. It was an $80 t-shirt. I was not going to pay $80 for a t-shirt. Dupe helped me find the twin, like maybe the exact same shirt. Find something you love, and then you can find replicas, twins, and maybe the exact thing for so much less. Give Dupe a try today. It is really so easy to use. You just type dupe.com / before any product URL in your browser and voila, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account is required. No sign up is required. It is completely free. I know, can you believe it? But it is completely free to use. Stop wasting money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today. White wicker. Remember the sets? We discourage sets, but maybe you want to just add a piece of white wicker, a rocking chair on your front porch or a little side table. But white wicker is back. That is so 90s to me, but it can work today. But again, like we always say, when it comes back, it doesn't come back the same. So it's going to be tweaked a little bit. So don't do the full-on set. and you really shouldn't be doing that with any of your decorating, but add in a little white wicker, especially this time of year. It's lovely. It's so summery. So maybe a little side table. Maybe you've got something that you spray painted black. Am I talking to myself? Maybe you want to switch it to white.
Oh, that's a great idea. And I remember that white wicker, and it was so pretty. And I'm going the opposite direction. Wood tones, unpainted, stained wood furniture. It's back, and it's so comfortable. It's so cozy. It feels very warm and inviting. These wood tones are so beautiful. So choose something where you love the wood tone. There's so many vintage pieces that are beautiful out there. Go check out the new, check out the vintage, but I think it's very important to have these wood tones in your home. And so if you have a lot of painted furniture, you want to be sure and mix in some wood tones as well.
Well, I was going to save this till the end because I think it is going to wow everybody, blow them away. But oak kitchen cabinetry.
What? Stop it.
Well, you've seen it too. I mean, I'm sure you did your research for this episode. It's back. But not the same. Not that sort of
not the
yellowy, reddy, honey-ish.
Orangey.
Yeah, not too orangey. Not with sort of the curved profile on the door, but maybe in a shaker design, something simpler. And mixed in with some painted cabinetry as well. So maybe you've got your uppers in oak and the lowers are darker in a darker paint. So you're mixing in the wooden cabinets, particularly oak, but you're doing it in a fresher way. You're not doing it just like the 90s. So just don't sit back and go, well, DTT told me my cabinets are fine and they're 90s and they really look it. That's not exactly what we're saying, but hey, if you've got those and you love them, keep them. But what you can do, if you like the idea of having wooden cabinets in your kitchen and warming it up a little bit, oak is back, but mix it in with some darker painted bottoms.
Interesting. I'm not sure I like that idea, but I get it. It's in. What about stripes? And I love using stripes, and these are very much a part of the 90s vibe. So you can incorporate these anywhere. And the beautiful thing about stripes is that it's a very simple pattern. Typically, they are just two colors, so they're going to work well with other patterns. So look for, window treatments, upholstered furniture, shower curtains, sink skirts, pillows, walls, carpet. All these things can be done in a beautiful stripe. So this is, again, just such an easy pattern to work with. So try to find some place to use stripes in the room. And my favorite place to use stripes is in a rug, in a flat woven cotton or wool rug.
Beige is back. A new way to use beige is to mix it with a matte black accents, crisp white trim, and maybe throw in some natural woven window treatments. Can you picture that in your mind's eye? That looks pretty fabulous. It doesn't look 90s, but the beige part is from the 90s because we just left beige. We said, no, we closed the door on you and we opened the door to so much gray, and we loved the gray, and lots of people love the gray really hard and kind of had the wrong gray. They were in a relationship with the wrong gray. Beige just became boring, I think, but it's back. And if you use it in this new fresh way, it's going to look like it's of this time period. But let's face it, beige is from the 90s.
While you have your beige out, let's get some other colors to go with those. How about soft yellows, light greens, mauve, and dusty blue, all making a comeback from the 90s. So we haven't seen these colors for a while, but now they're back.
Yeah, I've just never been a pastel girl. I get it. I was there for it. Mm-hmm. I probably did it a little bit. I remember getting into that very Martha Stewart jadeite green, which isn't really a soft green, but it's definitely more pastel than I ever really decorate with. And I actually painted a hutch. Actually, I think my mom painted it for me. Painted a hutch that I had found at some, a side of the road somewhere. this jadeite green from one of Martha Stewart's paint collections. And so, wow, that was the 90s, and I did it. And so now we're going to be doing it again. Floral wallpaper. We've been talking about wallpaper for a couple of years now. It was happening in the 90s, but it was a little bit different. Maybe it was all these pastel-y big florals. Well, now if you want to make that 90s look a little bit more current, you're going to do a big floral, but in a moodier color. So check out House of Hackney. They're going to give you all kinds of inspiration for that type of wallpaper.
I love House of Hackney. And of course, I have some wallpaper too, my collection. I'll include a link to that. But wallpaper is back and beautiful. What about square tiles? These went away. The subway was the end-all, be-all tile for now many years. And now, like with so many things, the pendulum is swinging the other way. And square tile is back. You can now get them in a lot of different colors. You can put them in the bathroom, the kitchen. Have fun with it.
Back to the wallpaper for a second. You may have seen, and you still may see, that wallpaper borders are back. I'm just going to say proceed with caution.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that.
That was such a 90s thing. But remember, I think we even included that in one of our trend episodes. Not this year, but maybe 2024. But don't hold me to that. But it was coming back in a different sort of way. But yes, wallpaper borders. But I would really think long and hard on that.
I don't think I'm going to be jumping on that train anytime soon.
Well, I can't believe you haven't said this yet, so I'll just throw it out there and then you can run with it. Plates as wall decor.
Well, yes, but we don't want to get into that too much because we've got a whole episode coming on that.
Absolutely, but that was so 90s.
True. And it's back.
It's so back. I mean, it's been a thing for so many years, like hundreds of years, but it really surfaced again in the 90s, and now it's coming back again. We've done it for many years. There's lots of great reasons why, and I'm not going to tell you today because we have a special plus episode all about that, so hang on for that. In the 90s, gosh, you even could do it where there was a ribbon, and the ribbon went down the wall, and then the plates were on the ribbon. It was very 90s. So you don't have to do it that way, but you can definitely use plates as wall decor.
Well, and talk about things coming back in a different way. In the 90s, remember there were those spring-loaded brass holders for the plates, and you could see them from the front. Yes. And now it's all hidden behind because we don't want to see that. And I had a few plates break with those stupid things. So I'm glad those things are gone. Oh,
yeah. And if you were trying to get one on a plate that was just a little bit bigger and you're stretching it, like you could take an eye out. So not a good way to do it. Not at all. So yeah, no. We'll go deep into that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with the plus episodes, the last Friday of every month, we do a more informal type of episode where we chat about a particular topic. And sometimes it's a debate, sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't. But we just do a little deep dive on something that we think is interesting, but maybe not enough for an entire DTT episode. So if you haven't been tuning in on Fridays, the last Friday of every month, please do.
That's right. So the next item I have is secondhand furniture. Well, it's really more than one thing. It's secondhand furniture and decor. Go to the thrift store, the garage sale, the antique store, the flea market, someplace where something's been owned before. And this really does add a depth to your house.
Okay, that was so fun going a little back in time with you, Anita, and with everybody. And we have another wonderful review that Anita's going to share with us.
So this one came in just on our website. If you go to our website and leave a review, it's just on the website. If you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, it's on Apple Podcast and it automatically goes to our website. So if you look for this review, you're only going to find it on our website, decoratingtipsandtricks.com. So we appreciate this so much from Pam R. But anyway, that's why it's just in one place. So if you are leaving a review for us, please do that on Apple Podcast, and then everyone can see it both places. Pam R. left us the most wonderful review. Thank you so much. Total thumbs up. Decorating Tips and Tricks has become my weekly favorite podcast. It is most difficult to put into words because it checks all the boxes of keeping one's interest with humor, knowledge that is both practical with tips, tricks to help create a comfortable yet beautiful home. I have lost count of the simple changes that I have made, which have resulted in many compliments from individuals who visit our home. Both Anita and Kelly are both genuine and practical with the feeling of being with a trusted friend. Thanks for your wisdom. I appreciate the opportunity to listen and learn. P.S. I so enjoy the crushes in each episode. Thank you so much, Pam.
Oh, Pam, that was so sweet. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate that you're along with us. Thanks to everybody that leaves the reviews. It means so much to us. Beyond Apple and all of that, it just really makes us feel good. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. What's your crush, Anita?
Well, we've got the DTT Defines first.
Oh, gosh, I'm losing my mind.
Cold or whatever it is, it's just kind of fogging things up.
Okay, yes. Give me the definition and do it slow so I can absorb it.
Okay, DTT defines liming, and that is a finish applied to wood to give it a whitewashed look. And we've talked about this before on the podcast, the cherusing. We've talked about cherusing, and so this is basically the same thing. It was traditionally done with oak because it has an open grain, and they use liming wax to fill in the grain of the wood. And lime is a calcium-based material derived from limestone or chalk by heating or slacking. But now, rather than the liming paste, it's done with wax or white paint. Yeah, what's your crush?
My crush is that cordless lamp that I mentioned I had put in my cart when we were doing the Nancy Meyers Look episode a few weeks ago. And I received it and I love it. And I'm sorry, Pookie, but it's a lot less expensive. Of course, Pookie has so many different bases and styles. This is simpler, but it does have some interest to it. It's just not a straight pole, if you will. It's a good size. It's probably about 18 to 20 inches. And it comes with a very simple white shade. But I'm just going to deck the shade out a little bit. I've got some eyelash fringe I'm thinking about using. I've got another little burlap trim that I'm thinking about using. So depending on where it lands, the thing is about these cordless is that you can really carry it around with you. You know, like picture in the olden times where the person's coming down the hallway in their nightgown and their nightcap and they've got the candle. I don't know where it's going to live, so I can't commit to its trim yet. So I've tried it in a few different places, and I love it everywhere. So I might have to get a few more because I think it was like $42.
Oh, wow. Yes, much cheaper than Pookie. Well, and I think it really depends on the application, whether you want the Pookie or not, because I like the cordless lamps so much. They're so wonderful in so many places, but I love Pookie too. So I go with a few Pookies, and then I go with a bunch of other ones that are less expensive for other
Exactly, because if it does stay where I have it right now, which is in Peter's office, then that one will stay there. If I decide I really want to have a cordless lamp in the living room, then I'm going to invest in the Pookie. That's how I'm doing it.
Oh, good. Well, speaking of Pookie, my crush is the Wilma lamp from Pookie Lighting.
Get out of here. You think we planned this.
Well, we didn't.
And we don't. We're making it up as we go along.
Well, this one actually has a cord, but it's a very small size. I have a situation in my living room where if I put in some regular sized lamps, I feel like it's going to break the look. It's going to feel kind of cluttered, and I wanted something very small. These are beautiful, but short. So they're not going to block the view. And I think they're going to be perfect for my setting. So these come in 3 colors. You can get them in cream, pink, or black. I think these are pretty reasonable. They are plug-in, but the nice thing is you don't have to charge them. The beautiful thing about these particular lamps are you can choose from over 250 lampshades from Pookie to go on there. And you don't even have to buy the lampshade from them, but you can go with the clip-on lampshades. And I bought several different lampshades so I can change them out and just kind of whatever mood I'm in.
Wow. That could be like a sign to your family what mood you're in. Like if it's a dark shade, you're like, stay away from her. A bright floral, all's good.
Yeah. Leopard print.
Oh, okay. Okay, that might be a good way to end the episode.
Oh, well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.